Hello students, myself Rajiv Chaudhary, Physics faculty. Today we are discussing NTSC paper Stage 2 Physics 2019-20 year. So here comes first question. Suppose that the acceleration versus time graph of a particle that start from rest is shown in figure. A particle at t equal to 0 has u equal to 0 meter per second. 0 meter per second. Graph acceleration time graph is given. Then we know area under acceleration time graph gives change in velocity. As we know, total area of this upward graph comes 5 into 10 equal to 50, and graph area of this graph comes minus 10 into 10, because this contains minus 100 meter per second. So we can say that in between 10 and 20 sometime t, velocity is again 0. So we can say that this area A1 and this area A2 So velocity equal to A1 plus A2 equal to 4 rest. Again rest. When will come again? Rest. So for 0, then A1 is 50 and area A2. This will come minus 10 into t minus 10, because this distance will come t minus 10. So 50 minus 10 into t minus 10 equal to 0. So from this 50 equal to 10 into t minus 10. So 5 equal to t minus 10. From this t equal to 15 second. T equal to 15 second. So answer will be your third option. Time will be 15 second when particle will come again at rest for the first time. Second question. In this question, suppose that the acceleration, this is a graph based question, so two paragraph based question, so two questions are a part of this. So paragraph is given in first question, again same paragraph, but question is different. What is the total distance traveled by the particle during 30 seconds? During 30 seconds total distance covered. So see, we can first make velocity time graph for this question. We can make velocity time graph. So area of this comes 5 into 10 equal to 50. Here comes minus 10 into 10 equal to minus 100. And here will come 5 into 10 equal to 50. So velocity at 10, here we can assume at t equal to 0, u equal to 0 meter per second. At t equal to 10 second, v1. For v1 minus 0 equal to 50, then v1 equal to 50 meter per second, because area under this graph gives change in velocity from 0 to 10 second. From t equal to 0 to t equal to 20 second. Assume velocity v2 minus 0 equal to 50 minus 100, that is equal to minus ka 50 meter per second. From t equal to 0 to t equal to 30 second. v3 minus 0 equal to 50 minus 100 plus 50 equal to 0 meter per second again. So graph of, we know when acceleration is constant, then velocity time graph will be a straight line. Velocity time graph will be a straight line with constant slope. Straight line with constant slope. So here graph is like this. G 10, 20, 30. Here it is 50 meter per second and this is minus 50 meter per second. And we know that if we add all areas magnitude, then area of displacement time graph gives distance traveled. Area of velocity time graph gives distance traveled. So we can calculate our area. This is 15, half into 15 into 50 plus half into 15 into 50. So this will come out 15 into 50, that is equal to 750 meter. 750 meters. So distance traveled will be 750 meters. So answer will be our option number 3rd. In this question, an object of mass 2 kg moving under the action of a force which varies with time as shown in figure. Force time graph is given in figure, and which one of the following statement is correct for the interval from 0 to 20 second? From 0 to 20 second, which of the following statement is correct? The momentum, it is about talking about a momentum. So for momentum, we know F equal to dp by dt, then dp equal to f dt. When do integration, then change in momentum comes f dt integration, that is area under force time graph. So if we find area, then this is parallelogram, half into sum of sides will be 5 to 10, this will come 5 and this will come 15. So 5 plus 15 multiplied by distance between 10 is 10, equal to half into 20 into 10 equal to 100. And this is area of triangle, half into base is 5 into height is minus 10, then area will come minus cut 25. Then if we have to calculate delta P, then we have to add total area, then 100 minus 25, that is equal to 75 kg meter per second, because it is a momentum. So momentum, your answer will come, the momentum the object decreases means you have to come negative, but here come positive, that means increases by 75 kg meter per second. So your answer will be option 2nd, because delta P, change in momentum, is 75 kg meter per second. It is positive, so it will increase. Next is our question number 4. in this question given that two cars are moving A and B of same mass, start from same location at the same time but on different straight roads. Car A travels on a road that has greater angle of inclination with horizontal compared to the road on which B travels. At an instant, both car and B at the same height above the straight point. If EA and EB are the total energy of A and B respectively, then which of the following is correct option for their energies? Then we have to calculate here energy. We have to make two paths. Let's assume that one path is this and another path is this. Here given that car A has greater angle of inclination. So car A is on this path and car B is on this path. This we can theta B and this we can call theta A, where theta A is greater than theta B. And it is saying that at a given instant both are at same height. We can say that this height is same. At any time both cars are at same height at any time t. We know that total energy E equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. But we know potential energy is mgh. Potential energy is mgh. But both have same height. So potential energy of both the bodies, potential energy of B, potential energy of body A equal to potential energy of body B. So if we want to check energy, then potential energy is same for both, then we have to check kinetic energy. Let's assume that this is path XA length and this length is XB. As we can see from the diagram that XB is greater than XA and time taken are same, so XB upon T should be greater than XA upon T. That means speed of B should be greater than speed of A. Both have same mass. Kinetic energy is half mv square. M is same. So I can say that kinetic energy of B should be greater than kinetic energy of A. If kinetic energy of B is same and potential energy for both is same, then we can say that energy of B should be greater than energy of A. So we can say that your answer is first option is correct answer. Clear? Next question number 5. The gravitational potential energy difference per unit mass between the surface of a planet and a point 100 meter above it is 100 joule per kg. How much work is required to done in moving a 5 kg object 100 meter on a slope of 30 degree to the horizontal on this planet? You have to move on this planet a particle 100 meter on this planet to the 30 degree. Then this height we can calculate, as we know sin 30 equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse, that will be h upon 100. Sin 30 is 1 by 2, then h upon 100. From here h equal to 50 meter. So particle from the surface gone 50 meter height. Then we know change in potential energy. Gravitational potential energy is work required, that is mgh. M is 5 kg, G is 10 and H is 50, that will come 2500 joule. 2500 joule. That means your answer will be 2500 joule. Next question number 6. In this situation, two identical objects A and B, each of same mass, start moving along the same vertical line. So we can draw diagram, start moving on a same straight line, along this straight line. Opposite direction is the same instant. Object A is dropped. T equal to 0, U equal to 0. Drop means initial velocity is 0 from height H, capital H, above the ground, and the object B is projected vertically upward, with velocity root 2 GH. Velocity U, B and UA is 0, and this is also at T equal to 0. From the ground with the speed U equal to root 2 GH, at what height above the ground do they collide? I have assumed that this height is small h at which they will collide. A and B. So this is small h, then this is capital H minus small h. For above, as we know, S equal to UT plus half AT square. H minus small h equal to 0 into time t, because both collide at same time t. Then 0 into t plus half g into t square. That will come h minus h equal to half g t square. And for B, this is for A and this is for B. Small h equal to UT minus half GT square. That will come h equal to U, that means root 2 GH into T minus half GT square. You can add both. This will be U T minus half GT square. If we add equation 1 and 2, then 1 plus 2 will get capital H equal to half GT square. Half GT square will be cancelled out. This both term will cancel out, equal to UT, and H or minus H will also cancel out. So T equal to capital H by U. Then we have to calculate small h equal to UT minus half GT square. So small h equal to UT minus half GT square, U into H by U minus half G into H by U ka whole square. Square of H by U. Then small h equal to H minus half G into H square upon U, root U square, that means root 2 GH square. Here it will come H minus half G into H square upon 2 GH. That will come H. So small h will come H minus H by 4. Then small h height 3h by 4. So they will collide at the height of 3h by 4 from the ground. So answer will be your option number 4th. Next question number 7. It is paragraph question. So question number 6 and 7 and both question have same diagram, that a particle 1 and particle 2, it is thrown upward with root 2 GH speed, and it is speed U equal to 0 dropped, and they collide at 3h by 4 height from the ground. So first particle displacement is h by 4, and it is saying that after collision they stick to each other, then find change in their energy, then find loss in their total energy. Loss means change in energy. Then we have to find, if we find delta E, change in energy, E final minus E initial, E final minus E initial, and we know that this is total energy. So total energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. So we have to calculate E initial and E final. So for initial energy we have to calculate kinetic energy initial plus kinetic energy potential energy initial. Initial kinetic energy, and for this we have to calculate initial kinetic energy and initial potential energy. Initial kinetic energy we have to calculate velocity. So velocity will come, v1 will come root 2 gh, and that will come v1 equal to root 2 gh by 4, that is equal to root gh by 2, and v2 square equal to u square, that is root 2 gh minus 2g into 3h by 4. So v2 equal to 2gh minus 3gh by 2 root, and that will come v2 equal to root gh by 2. So we can say that initial energy equal to half m into v1 square, that is root gh by 2 whole square, plus second particle half m root gh by 2 whole square, plus potential energy, and that will come mg 2 into 3 mgh by 4. From here we can calculate E initial equal to half m gh by 2 plus half mgh by 2 plus 3 mgh by 2, and it will come 2 mgh, and it will come 2 mgh, because 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 2, and 3 mgh by 2 will come 2 mgh. For final energy E final, we have to calculate kinetic energy final plus potential energy final. But we can say for kinetic energy final we have to calculate final velocity, and that will come m into minus का v1 plus m into plus का v2 equal to 2m into v final, m into minus root gh by 2 plus m into plus root gh by 2, both have same velocity, equal to 2m into v final. It will cancel out both plus minus, so v final equal to 0. That means final velocity is 0 after sticking each other. Final velocity of particle will be 0. Final velocity particle is 0, that means kinetic energy is 0 and potential energy will be 2 mg 3h by 4, and that will come E final energy will come 3 mgh by 2. And if we find delta E, total energy, change in total energy, that will come final energy will be 3 mgh by 2 minus 2 mgh, and it will come minus mgh by 2. That means negative sign means loss in energy, and question is also asking find loss in their total energy. So loss in energy will be mgh by 2, and your option second will be correct, Next is question number 8. In this question, given below two different graph of variation of density or pressure of the medium in figure 1, with time figure as wave passes through the first in first graph in figure 1, it is given density or pressure with distance, position, and in second time density or pressure is given with the time. And question is asking what is the speed of wave. What is the speed of wave in given medium? We have to find speed of wave in the given medium. So from this we can calculate that this is the wavelength. This is wavelength lambda. This length will give lambda. Length of one full wave. Length of one full wave is called wavelength, and that is will come 100 centimeter. That will come 1 meter. That will come 1 meter. From this graph, we can say that time of full wave is called time period. Time of full wave is called time period. So we can say that time period T equal to, here time is in millisecond, 2 millisecond, that means 2 into 10 raised to power minus 3 second. Now speed we can say that speed of wave, from formula speed of wave is given that lambda by time period T, and we can put by V. Then V equal to lambda by T, then lambda is 1 meter divided by time period is 2 into 10 raised to power minus 3 second. Then it will come out V equal to 10 raised to power 3 divided by 2, that means 1000 divided by 2 equal to 500 meter per second. So wave speed in this medium will come out 500 meter per second, and that is your option 4. This is our question number 9. In this question, a convex lens and a concave lens, each of focal length 10 centimeter, are kept by a separated distance of 2 centimeter. In both length, distance between them is 2 centimeter. If the light incident, both have focal length f equal to 10 centimeter. F equal to 10 centimeter. If the light is incident from the left, combination of the lenses will behave like, if light come from this side, then what will this system behave like? Then we know that 1 upon f equivalent equal to 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2 minus d upon f1 f2. This will come our net focal length for the system, equivalent focal length for the system. F1 for convex lens, that will come plus 10 centimeter. F2 will be for concave lens, and that will taken minus 10 centimeter. For convex lens, focal length is taken positive, and for concave lens it is taken as negative. So f1 equal to plus 10 centimeter, f2 equal to minus 10 centimeter, d equal to come 2 centimeter. Then if we put in formula 1 upon f equivalent, 1 upon f equivalent, then it will come 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon minus 10 minus 2 divided by 10 into minus 10. So 1 upon f equivalent, this will cancel out, and it will come out minus 2 divided by minus 100, that will come out 1 upon 50. So f equivalent will come out plus 50 centimeter, plus 50 centimeter. Focal length is, if focal length is positive, then lens is converging lens. Lens is converging lens. It will be convex type. So your answer will be option 1. Correct option. In this question, in the circuit given the ratio of work done by battery to maintain the current between the point A and B, and to the work done for the whole circuit. 2 points are given. 2 points are given A and B. In circuit they are missing. We can say that 2 points are given here, A and B, in the question. Okay. Now question is asking that work done to maintain this current I between these points and in whole circuit. So first of all we can redraw this diagram like this. this is 2 ohm, and if we take all these in parallel combination, then this will come 1 by 3 ohm and this will come 2 ohm, and this is given 1.3 volt. Then if we calculate I, current I, then V equal to, from Ohm's law, V equal to IR, then I equal to V upon R, and all these three are in series combination, so I equal to 1.3 divided by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 2, that will come out 1.3 divided by 3, 6 plus 1 plus 6, and that will come out 1.3 multiplied by 3 divided by 13, and that will, I will come out 3 by 10 ampere. I will come out 3 by 10 or 0.3 ampere. So current is here. Now we know that this resistance, total resistance R equivalent, we can say that it is 13 by 3, and we can say that RAB equal to 1 by 3 ohm, 1 by 3 ohm, because this is point A and this point is B. So equivalent resistance between A and B point is 1 by 3. We know that P is given, we know that P is power equal to VI and work done is power into time T. So we have to calculate potential V1, that is will come out, R equivalent is 1 by 3 and this is 0.3. So this will come out 0.1 volt, and current will remain in whole circuit as same. And second one, we can say that whole circuit V2 equal to 1.3 volt. So we can say that work done 1 upon work done 2 equal to V1 into I into time t divided by V2 into I into time t. So time and I will cancel out, so W1 upon W2, work done for AB and work done for circuit 2 will come out like V1 is 0.1 divided by 1.3 and it will come out 1 upon 13. So work done for AB divided by work done for whole circuit, that is W1 upon W2 will come out 1 by 13. So your answer will be option second. Next question number 11. In this question, magnetic field at the center of a circular coil of radius R carrying current is I is B is directly proportional to I upon R, and its direction is given by right hand thumb rule. Magnetic field at the center of circular arc subtending at an angle theta in the degree is B is directly proportional to I upon R into theta by 60 degree, and theta will be here in degree. And its direction can be found using again right hand thumb rule. Consider two circular coils made of uniform conductors as shown in figure 3 and 4. This is figure 1 and this is figure 2 for above theory part. Figure 3, points C and D are diametrically opposite to each other, and in figure 4, PO2Q are equal to 120. Then magnetic fields. Then this is the question. We have to calculate magnetic field at their centers O1 and O2. At these 2 points we have to calculate magnetic field. Current I is here and same current I is also here, and current I1 is in this and current I2 in this. Here current I3 and here current I4. This is point PQ and this is point CD. Current I will come out and here current I will come out. Here angle is given 90 degree, this angle is given 90 degree, and this angle is given 120 degree. Okay. So if we want to calculate B at O1, magnetic field at O1, then we can say that magnetic field due to this and magnetic field due to this both will come in opposite direction. Due to I1 it will come be inward, and due to I2 it will come in outward direction. It will come in outward direction. So due to this we can set B1, and due to this we can set B2. Then it will come out B1 minus B2 and BO1. As we know formula from last, B is directly proportional to I upon R into theta by 360 degree. Then if this is 390 degree, then this angle will come out 270 degree. Then B1 we can say that, and if proportionally sign is removed, constant K I upon R into theta by 360 degree. Then B1 will come out like K I1 upon R into theta is 270 divided by 360, minus B2 will come out K I2 upon R into 90 degree divided by 360 degree. Okay. Now if we have to calculate, then we have to calculate I1 upon I2, and R is directly proportional to L, length. If this we can take R2 and this we can take R1, then R1 upon R2 is equal to L1 upon L2, and that will come out 270 into R divided by 90 into R, and that will come out 3 by 1. 3 by 1. And from here 3, 4, 1, 4. So B at O1 equal to K into I1 upon R into 3 by 4 minus K I2 upon into 1 upon R. And I is inversely proportional to R. As we know, I equal to V upon R. So if ratio of R1 upon R2 is this, I1 upon I2 is 3 by 1, then I1 upon I2 will come R2 upon R1, that will come out 1 by 3. That will come out 1 by 3. Then I1 and I2 can be put at I1 equal to, if in this diagram, in this equation, we put this equation, then each will cancel out and BO1 comes 0. BO1 comes 0. And remember this thing, that if we cut any circular coil in any angle theta and 360 minus theta, and put like this, II current, this direction I1 and this direction I2, at center magnetic field always will be 0. You can remember this thing. So same in this situation, if we have to calculate at BO2, then we can say that is B3 and this is B4. Then it will come B3 minus B4. Again same situation, B3 K I3 upon R into, this angle is 120, then this angle will come 240. This will come 240 divided by 360. Okay. Minus K I4 upon R is radius, into 120 divided by 360. It will come BO2 equal to K I3 upon radius R into, that means 2 by 3. That means 2 by 3 minus K I4 divided by R into 1 by 3. Again, if we say this resistance is R3 and this resistance is R4, again resistance is length directly proportional to length, and R3 upon R4 equal to 240 into R divided by 120 into R, that is equal to 2:1. That is equal to 2:1. That means current I3 divided by I4 will come ratio in 1 by 2. Then again from calculation these will cancel out and BO2 will be 0. Magnetic field at O2 will be 0. So at both O1 and O2. At both O1 and O2, magnetic field will be zero. Magnetic field will be zero. So your option will be first will be correct answer. Next question is question number 12. In this question, there is given a convex lens. There is given a convex lens and a pin of length 2 centimeter, and a pin of length 2 centimeter is placed between A and B. Between 18 centimeter and 20 centimeter as shown in figure. Focal length is given 1/10 centimeter. Focal length is given 10 centimeter. Then magnification produced by for this pin. Magnification, we have to find magnification, then length of image divided by length of object. Length of image divided by length of object, we can say lateral magnification. Then this, if we calculate U1, if we take 20 centimeter, then this U2 will come 18 centimeter. 20 minus 2 will come 18 centimeter. Okay. So as we know from lens formula, 1 upon f equal to 1 upon v minus 1 upon u. 1 upon v come out 1 upon f plus 1 upon u. Then 1 upon v equal to f f plus u. Then v equal to f into u upon f plus u. As we know, u1 equal to 20 centimeter, then v1 equal to 10 into minus 20 divided by 10 minus plus minus का 20, minus of 20. Then v1 will come out minus 200 divided by minus 10. Then v1 equal to plus 20 centimeter. Plus 20 centimeter. For U2, v equal to f into U2 upon f plus U2, and that will come out 10 into minus 18 divided by 10 minus 18. That will come out minus 180 divided by 8, and it will come out minus 8 plus 22.5 centimeter. Then length of image equal to 22.5 minus 20, and it will come 2.5 centimeter, and it will come out 2.5 centimeter. Then magnification equal to length of image divided by length of object. Length of image is 2.5 centimeter divided by length of object is 2 centimeter. Then magnification will come out 1.25. Magnification will come out 1.25, and that is your option third. Next question number 13. In this question, what is the current supplied by battery in the circuit shown below? Each resistance used in circuit is 1 kilo ohm and potential difference VAB is 8 volt. That means battery is 8 volt and each resistance is 1 kilo ohm. Is of 1 kilo ohm. Then we have to find current through the battery, current supplied by the battery. To do this question, we have to rearrange the circuit. This point is given A and this point is given B. Now, if we take point C, this point as C, then this is also C, because in this branch no resistance, and this branch also does not have any resistance. So this is also C, because this branch does not have resistance. This is also C, and this is also C. So if we rearrange this circuit between point A and B, a 8 volt battery is connected. Here potential difference is given 8 volt. If we connect C, we can take this point as A and this point as C and this point as B. Then if we take one by one resistance from A to C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 resistance are connected from A to C. A to C 1, 2, A to C third, A to C fourth, and A to C 5. 5 resistance are connected between A to C, so we can say that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And B to C 1, 2, and 3. B to C, B to C, B to C, 3 resistance are connected. And each are of 1 kilo ohm. So these 5 resistance are in parallel and these 5 resistance are in parallel. So here resistance will come 1 by 5 kilo ohm and this will come 1 by 3 kilo ohm. Again 1 by 5 kilo ohm and 1 by 3 kilo ohm are in series combination. So we can say that R equivalent will be, this is 8 volt, this point is A and this point is B. R equivalent will be 1 by 5 into 1 by 3. These are in series. So we can say that R equivalent equal to 1 by 5 plus 1 by 3 and that is equal to 15. 5 plus 3 and R equivalent will come 8 by 15 kilo ohm. So current, if we have to calculate current I, then we know from Ohm's law that I equal to V upon R equivalent. V is 8 divided by R equivalent is 1 upon 8 by 15 into 10 raised to power 3 ohm. And it will come out 15 divided by 10 raised to power 3. This will come out 15 into 10 raised to power minus 3 ampere, or we can say 15 milliampere. So your option will be, second option will be your correct answer. So we have done NTSC stage 2 2019 paper physics solution question.